The UK is examining plans to start a Sputnik navigation framework as a competing to the EU's Galileo draft. The go comes following the UK was said it would be close out of key beginnings of the programme following Brexit. The UK has consumable euros, pound, on Galileo, that is intended to be Europe's reply to the US GPS framework. If Galileo no much longer meets our safety requirements and UK production cannot competitive on an equitable base, it is logic to see at alternatives. The row centres about if the UK can go on to be trust in the EU's largest susceptible safety data following Brexit. The UK's gunman forces were planner to use Galileo to addition their use of the US GPS framework, but Click Accountable propose they will now be locked of making so. The US retains the more than exact and strong GPS signals for its own gunman forces. Graham Tinnock, head execution of the UK area agent, told previous practicability job was by way in a UK framework, that he told would price a many less than rather than Galileo, thanks to job already made and UK aware how and inventiveness. Thing some rather than GPS is necessary for safety/resilience reasons. The motorist would not be fair to supporting the domestic area production. All recognizes how contemporary community is now above reliant on GPS. And he alerted how eliminating the UK of Galileo could set the Europe program behind year and price the EU billions more than in growth expenses. We yet believe down there is a gain to be had there if the Europe Committee and the EU 27 changing their minds, yet at the time they seem to be set on eliminating the UK of industry involvement in the programme. He told the UK had a lot of the ability how would be necessary for a Sat-nav framework since we advanced them as portion of our part in Galileo. We cannot start still, though apparently we are hard to address how, but the thing we believe is in the sphere of the plausible, he added. The pot European space gigantic bus has been a main gamer in Galileo's growth. And in the UK, bus now controls the satellites in the sky. Satellites how were as well collected by its affiliate Surrey Sputnik Technique Limited in Guildford. Time bus will be capable to go on work on Galileo at its mainland centres everything the result of this number, the business told its UK vendor stood prepared to help in-house a UK Sat-nav framework if requested. Europe's Galileo framework Greg Clark alerted how the Europe Committee's actions could endanger defence and safety company operation in Britain following it has leftward the EU. He is understood to be preparation to unit the purchase of the following party of Galileo satellites at a meet of the Europe Area Agent Justice in Berlin, as portion of a retaliatory strike versus the EU judgment. We've been precise how we do not take the committee's stance and include named for a 3-month purchase freeze over and a precise obligation of the committee how UK production continues to be acceptable to use for all Galileo contracts on an equitable and outdoor base, told the Industry Secretariat. Officials are as well looking in if the UK could reject the EU accessing to land stations in 2 UK across the sea territories, the Falkland Islands and the Ascent Islands.